Hello everybody, today we're doing a video for GTA Car Kits in a 2016 Audi A6, and today we're going to show you how to install our Apple CarPlay and Android Auto kit. As you can see, it's already installed into this car. It's been paired to iPhone wirelessly. You can also pair it to your Android phone wirelessly. You can control it here with the original controls. You can also do an extract from the original controls. You're able to launch Siri or Google Assistant from the steering wheel. You will not lose any functionality from your Audi system. You can easily switch back to it by pressing and holding the back button here. Now you have an extra function which you didn't have before. And the advantage of our product is that it uses the original microphone for Bluetooth phone calls, and you're able to use original Bluetooth audio source in order to stream music, so you don't need to install any adapters for AMI connector. So now we're going to show you how to install it in this particular Audi. So the tools you're going to need is this panel removal tool. We also have an 8mm socket with a small extension, and of course you're going to need our product. We're going to begin by removing the HVAC panel here, and the actual head unit needs to come out. But first thing that you need to do is that we raised our handbrake up so the car doesn't roll, and we moved the shifter all the way down so it gives us space to work. And now we can grab our panel removal tool and we can start removing the HVAC unit. So just held on clips. We're going to get on the passenger side first and unclip it. Then same thing on the driver's side. And now it needs to come out, and usually it's stuck, but once you lift it up, then that's because it has this clip at the back. The connection that we're going to be connecting here is this one. So we're going to disconnect it right away. So we're going to use our fingers to first release this red clip, and underneath it there's another clip that you have to press, and you can now disconnect this connection. Now we're going to use our 8mm socket with this small extension, and there's this 8mm bolt right in the center, right below the head unit, that we have to remove. As you can see, we're also going to be removing the bolts from the glove box, but please note that the one that we removed underneath the stereo is a particular one because it's shorter. All the other ones we're going to remove today are longer. Now we can pull out the head unit, and it will not come out all the way because there are two connections underneath here. So there's one right here and one over here, and they have these little clips that you have to squeeze, and then it can come out. So what I did is that I just squeeze it with my finger here, and it's now the same thing closer to the driver. There you go. And this connection is a little bit different, but same thing. This is the clip that I'm removing. And at this point, you can grab the actual head unit and you can carefully remove it. So at the back of the head unit, our kit will be connecting to the main quad lock harness and then to this gray video cable. So these two original connections you have to remove. So we'll start with the quad lock. There's a clip underneath the quad lock that you have to press in order to release it. Once you pressed it, then you can unlock it and release it. There you go. So the clip that I was pressing is right here. And now we can remove the video cable. So underneath there's a clip. So you have to press that. We're going to use our panel removal tool to carefully maneuver it out. So before we start doing all the connections at the back of the head unit, we're going to remove the glove box because our module will rest behind the glove box, and we have to do all the wiring behind the glove box. So it's held on 5 8mm bolts. So there are 3 here. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then there's 2 more underneath the actual glove box. So we'll start with removing these ones on the inside of the glove box. And as I told you before, the bolts that hold the actual glove box are longer than the bolt that holds the head unit in place. Before we remove the 2 bolts underneath, because we already removed the 3 bolts inside, we have to remove this panel on the side. We're just going to use our tool that also is just held on clips, and it's one of the things that holds the glove box. As you can see, the glove box drawed because these go into the glove box. So the bolts underneath the glove box, there's one right here and one on the other side. So with all the bolts removed, the glove box will just come down, and there's one connector here which you have to squeeze on both sides, and this way you can just drop the glove box. We will now show you what comes in our kit and everything we're going to be installing into this Audi. So we have our main module, which we're going to hide behind the glove box. This is our main harness that connects at the back of the head unit. We already removed the original quad lock. It will go into here, and then this side will go into the head unit, and the other end with the two wires will go into the module. We have our wireless antenna for wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We have our USB cable for wired CarPlay and wired Android Auto. It's also used for updates. And then we have another harness. This is the one that will go to the back of the HVAC unit. And we have our video cables that will plug in to the module and at the back of the head unit. So we'll start with this smaller harness. This one goes at the back of the HVAC unit. So we'll plug in the original connection into the female side of ours. And just plug it in all the way in, and then we're going to lock the red clip. And then this end, the male end, will go to the back of the HVAC unit. Just plug it in, and then you end up with this one extra wire. So our goal is to route all of the wires that we're going to connect here behind our glove box. So this one, as you can see, there's this divider here between the head unit and the HVAC panel. So there's plastic piece. So we'll feed this small wire underneath the divider. I will catch it on the inside and bring it kind of above the head unit. I will bring it above the divider. And then we're going to take this wire and I'm going to grab it behind here and have it at the back of the glove box. Now we will do the bigger harness. So you have the original harness from the stereo. It will go into the female side of our harness. So make sure that it's unlocked. And then you have to put it in almost all the way in. And then you lock it in place. And then the male end will go to the back of the head unit here. We're going to insert it all the way in almost and then lock it in place. And you end up with these extra wires that we need to connect to our module. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull these wires through here so I can catch it behind the glove box. And the last part that we have to connect over here behind the head unit and HVAC are our video cables. So there's two ends. So there's one single male end, this blue one. This will plug into our module. So this has to go behind the glove box. And these two will be behind the head unit. So the original gray one, which we removed earlier, will go into the female. And then this male end will go to the back of the head unit. And now you can grab this single blue end. And again, same thing. Bring it around here. And we're going to have it come out behind the glove box. So with everything plugged in, we're going to start putting all the wires away so we can put the head unit in place. So this quad lock harness, we suggest to hide. There's an opening right in the middle here where there's space for it. So we're going to first maneuver the head unit around, bring it closer to the dashboard. So it gives us more space with the wiring. We will carefully position all the wires so there's space for the head unit to go back into its cavity. So we're also going to pull the wires that we brought out to the glove box. So once you made sure that there's enough space for the head unit to go back in place, we're going to reconnect these two connections underneath the head unit. So there's one closer to the driver and passenger side. Now we will put the head unit back in its place, but we're not going to screw it in because we still are going to test everything for now. And this panel with this extra harness, so this harness you're going to hide in this opening below the head unit. So just put it in there. Make sure that this piece has enough space to go back in. So this small wire we brought out from the back of the HVAC, so we'll have to plug it into our main harness here. Make sure you put it in the right way. Then these two ends will go into our module. There you go. And this is the video cable. And just make sure to put it all the way in. And so the other two things that we have left is the wireless antenna and then USB. So there are two ways to run this USB wire. So you can either drill a hole into the glove box and feed it inside the glove box, or what we're gonna do is that we're gonna have this wire come out here, which is gonna, as you can see, this plastic piece now moves because we removed the glove box, and you can just put this wire underneath here because that gives you space for it to be somewhat out of the way and you don't have to drill anything. And then this end will plug in into our module. And the last thing would be our wireless antenna. So we're going to plug it into our module, and there are a few places to hide it, so make sure that you don't sticker it to the actual module. So we find that there's a good position right here that it's flat, and you can remove the sticky tape and mount it right here behind this dashboard piece. And at this point we're ready to put away the module, so make sure that the module is going to come preset for your particular car, so you don't need to adjust the dip switches. But when you're putting away the module, make sure that you do not change the dip switch settings. Two ways to hide the module: you can either hide it on top of the glove box, but we also found that there's this nice cavity right here, so you're going to maneuver all the wires and carefully put the module around here. As you can see, there's plenty of space, so carefully also, like I said, put the wires neatly, take your time, and make sure that you don't lose this cable right here, and we have to reconnect it back to our glove box. Now we're going to test everything, so we're going to make sure first that the source in this vehicle for sound is set to Bluetooth. So we're going to press source, and as you can see, it's set to Bluetooth. And now we're going to connect our iPhone by the cable first to make sure everything works properly. So it starts charging. As you can see, it's going to ask you to use CarPlay. And here you go, CarPlay comes up. We're going to test that all the controls work. We're also going to test our music. So the music is playing. And then you can press and hold the back button again. And this will let you switch between the original system and our system. And at this point we can turn the car off, and we're going to reinstall everything back. So we're going to reinstall this bolt underneath the head unit. Now again we'll hide the harness, and now we will clip in the HVAC panel on both sides. When reinstalling the glove box, don't forget to plug in this connection here, and then you have to line up the glove box, and we will start with screwing in the bolts underneath the glove box. Now it's time for the bolts inside the glove box, 3 of them. So first I'm doing it by hand, and then I'm going to tighten them. And the last part here for the glove box, we're going to put this panel back. So first put in this edge. Once it's in and you lined up all the clips, you can just clip it back in. So the installation has been completed. We also paired our iPhone wirelessly to the system through the settings of our module. So now you can enjoy Apple CarPlay or Android Auto in this Audi A6. I hope you liked the video, and we'll see you next time.